And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stan Salter along with Keith Fustel on a beautiful Thursday afternoon of racing here at Laurel Park. We're on the turf. We have a nice carryover today in that 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. That's going to start in race 5 today. Let's show it to you real quick. Little over 7,000 for the Pick 6 carryover today. There it is, $7,015. That starts in race 5. I have a ticket, a $24 play. It's on the laurelpark.com website. My single on my Pick 6 ticket's going to come in race 8, or a nice 2 other than allowance feature for filly mares sprinting on the turf. I'm going to single on the reliable Keep Your Distance for trainer Kieran McGee. She's good on the dirt or the turf. We're on the turf today, so Keep Your Distance, my single there in race 8. We'll get to all that. Let's show you what we have going on tomorrow. The big popular national wager, the Stronach 5. It's going to start 4:30 tomorrow down there at Gulfstream Park West, race 7. The fourth leg of tomorrow's Stronach 5 is Laurel Park, race 10. That's a nice allowance race, a nice starter allowance race. Brickyard Kitten looking for 4 in a row in Laurel Park, race 10 tomorrow. That's the fourth leg of the Stronach 5. You can find more information out about this on the XBTV website or ExpressBet, the Stronach 5 preview show we did yesterday. That's all over the place, and I made Brickyard Kitten my top play in that race.
Yeah, I think there's 4 or 5 of them in there. Brickyard Kitten, I think, is going to be a slight favorite, but Kieran has another runner in there. Primetime Man, who certainly fits. McMahon with Charlie Mops. Silver Dagger for Jamie Ness is in very good form. So a highly competitive race. That is the fourth leg going on the Kelso tomorrow at a mile.
All right, so looking forward to that. Let's show you a picture of both conditions today here, both track surfaces. The main track is fast, and turf will start good.
Yes.
It's been dry all week, and we're getting some sun today, so 50s and sunny. That's good news for our turf course.
Yeah, we've had a couple windy days, too, which certainly should have helped this turf course.
All right, let's get right to it. That's race 1 here. Race 1's going to kick off the rolling super high 5 with that low 15% takeout. We have it every race with 7 or more horses, the super high 5. Also, race 1 kicks off our early pick 5. It's a mandatory payout on the early pick 5. And just like the late pick 5, the pick 5s here at Laurel Park, your best bet with that industry low 12% takeout. So let's take a look at race 1. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Kelso turf course rail at 35 feet, claiming 16,000. Filly mares 3 and up, never won 2 lifetime. My top pick here in the openers, the 5, Romantic Babe from the David Donk barn. Trevor McCarthy on this 3-year-old filly by Girolamo. You like the 5 a little bit as well. This horse, a nice debut win on the turf back in last year, 2017, when she was 2. That was against Maiden Special Weight at Saratoga. She's been going against Stakes Company, Allowance Company since then. She's taken a big drop from 40,000 to life up there at Belmont to the 16 to life today.
It's always a tough time of year, though, with these turf courses. Turf courses, the conditions are changing. Usually a little bit softer ground where you've got horses dropping out of the sky, the horses that really don't have a lot of dirt for them for the winter. It makes this race awfully tough. Yeah, I agree. I think Romantic Babe, the 5, and the 7, Feeling Foxy, clearly the ones to beat. Feeling Foxy getting blinkers on. Second time in the Lacey Gaudette barn. I think all in all, she might have faced a little bit better horses last winter down at the fairgrounds. I like the 5.5 turn back and back to the turf. I think this horse will make a run from just off of it. Let's look for a little bit better prices. I moved to the inside with the 2. It's a doozy as a user for me. Ferris Allen getting back on the turf, a stalking type with Prado, and the 4, Wiggle Room. Wiggle Room has shown some more speed, has run okay on the grass. Maybe not the Beyer numbers that you've seen from some of these favorites, but there's a little bit of a lack of speed in this race, and Wiggle Room just might be what the doctor ordered. Be able to shake clear and go a long way. And of course, we're still a little uneasy about how to really gauge it. So I think you've got to throw some prices in there, and I think the 2 and the 4 are the ones to use.
Ann Merriman with a big long shot winner last Saturday on Maryland Million Day. You'll get a nice big price here on the 4, Wiggle Room. So you're looking for a home run here to kick off the early pick 5. That's how you do it. Knock them all out with a 15-1 shot in the opener. Let's turn the page here. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4. I know you like the early pick 4. Let's check out your ticket, see how you played it.
Yeah, we had a was kind of a key scratch in race 2, which was going to be leg 1 of this early pick 4 scratch. The 6, Robbie, who I think was going to be a user more than likely. I like the 1 and the 8, Electra, almost kind of an omni-fig, and the 8 make an entrance for Chucky Lawrence. Third race, we're going to spread third and fourth. I think both these races highly competitive. 2, 3, 5, and 7 in race number 3. In the fourth, we'll use the 5, 7, 8, and 10. A video spotlight horse is the 7 unequivocal. We're doing pretty well with those video spotlight horses, Stan.
Sure.
And in the fifth race, the 7 and 11, My Enigma gets some speed to target. Might come rolling for Claudio at a square price, and also Call Will, second time off the claim.
Oh, my buddy Andy Mueller texted me. He's in Vegas right now at the Cosmopolitan Race and Sportsbook, and they're in Vegas, and there we are today at the races, you and me giving out some picks in Vegas.
Right.
So hope my man Andy's having fun in Vegas. We'll try to give you some winners. Let's take a look at the second race, a mile and the 16th on the Fort Marcy Turf Course rail at 87 feet. Maiden claiming 16,003 and up. These maiden 16s on the turf are wide open conditions. They're kind of like maiden 10s on the main track. I go with the 1, the favorite here, Electro from the Mike Trombetta barn. Horacio Caramanos on this 4-year-old son of Go Sapper. An okay fourth, 2 back against maiden 40,000 at Belmont on a yielding turf course. 61 buyer that day. So a big drop to the maiden 16 today. Horse likes a little likes a turf course with a little give in it. Caramano should get a nice ground saving trip from the inside.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the numbers. I say a virtual omni-fig, one of the worst races on the grass, beats this field. Electro will be perfectly placed, I think, just off the pace. The 2, Kamehameha for Tommy Michaels, and the 3, Redesign Me, is a sneaky bomb horse maybe to use. I know a 5-year-old late to the race has only run twice. The blinkers go on for Suzanne Dempsey, but that mare, Moralia Star, has had a couple foals that we've seen her run around. Available and more abundance.
Okay.
Both of them have plenty of speed. They can get the 5.5. This horse might just get out on a lead and take them a long way at a bomb price. But I go with the 8. I'm going to try a little upset with Make an Entrance for Chucky Lawrence off of a race at Suffolk. We've seen some of these Suffolk races produce winners down here. Make an Entrance, I think, just unfortunately was caught wide early against a lone speed dropper, a horse that was dropping from Belmont, a horse that's similar style to Electro. So I think Make an Entrance gets a little bit more speed up front and can draft in, get position to make a run to grind down the favorites.
We both like the 1 and the 8. We both like the 5 as well. I wish I was special for trainer Jose Corrales. Forest Boyce on this 3-year-old by Papa Clem, who ran in the Preakness. This horse, a decent race last out going long. He's run some good races on the turf as well. He finds a nice level today against maiden 16.
Sure, he's going to have to step it up a little bit, but a little encouraging race at a mile on the dirt last time would certainly put him in the mix here against this group.
All right, let's turn the page here. Race 3, we're going a mile and a 16th on the main track. 25,000 starter allowance, filly mares 3 and up. Number 1, 3 is the condition. We both like the 7 and the 3. I have the 7 on top untaken. 9-5 here for Corby Cayazo. Katie Davis on this 4-year-old filly. 0 for 4 here at Laurel Park, but all 4 times she's finished second, including last out as the heavy 4-5 favorite. A good second that day, going a mile, so she gets a little added real estate today. She's a win and 2/3 from 3 starts at this distance. The 7 untaken. She's going to be coming from off the pace, so that's the only thing. Not too much early speed for your favorite here in race 3.
Yeah, I don't think she's totally pace dependent. Last race they didn't go blazing up on the front end, and you see some other races with some slower internals. She just kind of makes that run and just really doesn't want to get by that last horse, it looks like, especially here at Laurel with 4 second-place finishers. Corrected morning line real quick on the 5. Stakes on a plane. That morning line should be 5-2. That was my mistake, sending that in. 5-2 should be the morning line on the 5. Stakes on a plane. I go to the 3, Queen Nakia. Another one. Might have a line a little bit too high, but possibly the barn change first off of a claim, which Pecoraro doesn't claim a lot, but I went back over the last 5 years. He's like 30%, just maybe slightly higher than that, with dirt runners first off of a claim. I like that. Another race kind of devoid of any quality speed. The blinkers go on. You get McCarthy at a fair price. Let's take a shot with the 3, Queen Nakia.
Yeah, Pecoraro having a big year, 30% winner. So we both like the 7 and the 3. I used the 4 in there, settable for Kelly Rubley. Disappointment last out. Comes out of the same untaken race, kind of flat in that race.
Right.
A big win before that for this 3-year-old filly by the Factor. So nice group
Mhm.
of you have the 2 in there as well. Mixed ways for William Bourne.
Yeah, that's my wake-up horse. Claimed off emotion, raised up, and just absolutely galloped. Never looked like a loser at any point during that race, Dan. I know had a decent internal fraction. They were cutting it up there pretty good. 46-1, 11-2. But Sheldon was poised every step of the way. Now he goes elsewhere, but I like the quick improvement for Mixaways.
All right, let's turn the page here. Race 4 kicks off the middle pick 4. We're on the main track going 6 furlongs, maiden claiming 16,000 for 2-year-olds here to start our middle pick 4. We have a video spotlight. We both have the 7 unequivocal on top for Men's Grill Racing and Hammy Smith. Here's the last race, September 28th, here at Laurel Park against Maiden 16.
It was Hammy versus the other Smith family member, right? Jason Smith
Yep.
with Bay of Rocks. And Bay of Rocks got a comfortable pace. Unequivocal looks like he's going to go by. Just can't do it. The last 70 yards, I really wouldn't call it a hang. Bay of Rocks had just a little bit more in the tank, and I think he came back and ran okay next time out. So Unequivocal, dropped to the right kind of level, ran against better earlier on in the career back in the summertime. I think Unequivocal will get the extra furlong is going to be the key for him. I think you can run him down late at a shorter price.
And the 10 Drossel Moon for Susan Cooney. This horse been running against Maiden Special Weight Stakes Company. A nice, much needed drop today. Gets McCarthy blinkers on. They're trying everything here on this 2-year-old by Drosselmeyer.
Yeah, I like this horse. Encouraging. Trevor Stays, which is good enough for me. Stumbled. You see this short comment there. An excuse definitely in last. This is the right spot. The horse really isn't that fast, but I think it make a steady progression off of it. You look at that workout at Pimlico, recent workout. I'm sure that was with the blinkers. We might see this horse up a little bit closer. So Drossel Moon, a user for me with McCarthy.
All right, let's get a quick commercial break. Nice carryover today in the Rainbow Pick 6, starting in race 5, a little over 7,000. I have a ticket. We'll take a look right after this. All right, Breeders' Cup coming up. It starts a week from tomorrow, and if you're handicapping the turf races, go with the Europeans because I think they'll be just like our turf course here. The whole eastern half of the United States has had a lot of rain this fall, so I'm predicting a good or yielding turf course for Churchill, and a lot of European shippers, they have the most experience over that kind of ground.
Took a quick peek at the weather to kind of look ahead because I got to kind of pack
You're going down there for
I've got to pack for those for those couple days, and
rain, cold.
like maybe highs in the upper 50s, maybe low 60s, but overcast, chances of showers each day. So yeah, you might be spot on sticking with the Europeans.
All right, let's take a look here. Race 5 is going to kick off our 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. Nice carryover today, $7,015. I have a ticket. Let's check it out. A very affordable $24 play for my Rainbow Pick 6. Race 5, I'm going to go 5 deep in this race using the 1, 3, 5, 7, and the 11. Big scratch in race 5. The 10, who was my top pick, Dark Roast, is out, so I end up with the 11, Call Will, my top pick. But 5 deep here in race 5, going with the 1, 9 there in race 6. Race 7, a nice allowance race, going 6 furlongs on the main track. I like the 8 in there, Forced, but my top pick in there is a 10 Polar Jet for Linda Rice. Race 8's a nice 2 other than allowance feature for Philly Mares. 5.5 on the Kelso turf course. I'm going to single on the reliable Keep Your Distance, a 4-year-old filly. She's made over $200,000 this year running in allowance races and a couple stake races as well. Kieran McGee has her in fine form. Vargas will ride, so I'll key on Keep Your Distance. Race 8, I go with the 3, 7, and then race 9, I go 3 deep there with the 7, 8, 9. So a $24 play. You can check that out some more on the laurelpark.com website. Keith Fusel's ticket is up there as well. Tim Tulloch will have a ticket for the afternoon. Let's take a look at this first leg of the pick 6. 5.5 on the Kelso rails at 35 feet, claiming 16,000, 3 and up. Wide open claiming condition here. Some nice accomplished turf runners in here. We both like the 11-7, 7-11 on top. The 11 is Call Will for Michael Catalano, a nice 7-year-old by Wilco. This horse is made over $250,000 on the on the turf. Trevor McCarthy will ride. Didn't run too well last out. That was against two other than Allowance Company, coming off about a 2-month layoff. It was 11-1 in that tough race up there at Parks, but a nice win 2 back against open 20,000 claimers at Parks. An 82 buyer in that win, an 80 buyer win third on the Monmouth turf against two other than back in June. So lightly raced this year, but finds a nice spot today on the drop.
Yeah, lightly raced, and that's the drop down to 16,000. I would like to have seen a little bit more, but they were killers. Fielders, the horse has been in razor sharp form. A couple workouts since then look okay. I think this horse will get a perfect stalking position. Let's hope he's got some finish with Trevor McCarthy. You've got some speed in here. I think the pace will be honest. We just don't know exact condition of the turf course, but they'll be rolling out front. The one anytime, any place with speed, and Golden Emperor draws in here from the outside with a cost. And Golden Emperor is a horse that's run some bang-up races over this turf course. So I think we're going to have a contested pace up front, and I think My Enigma, this is going to be the perfect flow for him. He's won on a ground that's got a little bit of give to it. My Enigma from well back to roll past late.
Yeah, for Claudio Gonzalez
for Claudio.
And Victor Carrasco, top connections there for the 7. My Enigma, you have to like that horse. We both like the 5. Joseph. Now, Joseph is a closing sprinter. X-Man might get a real nice setup on the 6-year-old for trainer Rodney Jenkins, a 2-time winner on the Laurel turf.
Yeah, and don't forget about the 8 here, Stan, Indian Bucks. Look at his record at Laurel. 5 wins from 15 starts on this turf course, a 2nd and 2/3. I'm not really familiar with the trainer, but I'm familiar with this horse over this turf course, and I think he'll be able to be just fine. First time in the barn. He'll be like back to his old turf course, Laurel Park, and he'll make a run into it from mid-back.
And how about the old-timer Rapid Dan for trainer Dale Capuano? Here's a horse that was 3rd with a 90 buyer on a firm turf course last year, 2017, in the Laurel Dash. Has kind of fallen off form since then, but gets a big drop today here for this 7-year-old who's run some big races on the turf.
I just don't know what's happened of recently, but maybe this ground's gonna wake him back up. Always been a fan. He owes me no money, Rapid Dan. He's come through for me a couple times.
All right, let's take a look here at the late pick 5, race 6. No carryover today, but as always, that industry low 12% takeout on the late pick 5 starts in race 6 today. For the late pick 5, nice maiden claiming 16,003 and up, going a mile and 16th on the Fort Marcy turf course. Rail at 87 feet here in race 6. We have a video. My price play of the day is the 1 Red Mist for trainer Arch Kingsley. Barn had a nice win last week in here at Laurel at a nice price. I go with the 1 Red Mist on top, but we have a video spotlight on your top pick here, the 8 Sir Smarty for trainer Darren Martin. Here's the race right here at Laurel Park back in June against Maiden 16.
Yeah, tucked down to the inside, Sir Smarty was that day, and just lacks a little bit of room going to the far turn. The 6 horses Zeke the Street kind of sets the pace. You see just a little bit of a weight there. And this is an amateur rider race, too. And I tell you what, this rider does a pretty good job for the most part, but just kind of gets hung up. And never really got a clear path till they hit the top stretch there. Just a little bit of a steady pass to 5/16, having to angle out, but really didn't check sharply at all. I like the way this horse handled, the traffic and the rider, the way the rider handled it. It just shifts out, makes a little bit of run. Stay Awesome was just a little bit better that day. We're going to see this horse close steadily to be second best. Sir Smarty now back. You're going to get Forrest Boyce, very capable. I think she's going to fit this horse to a T and makes her run from a few lengths off of it once they turn for home.
Yeah, that was a big race back on June 10th. Had a 3-month break after that, and then came back. A tough assignment for the comeback race on October 7th on a yielding turf course, a hurdle race. Got clobbered that day, so you just have to hope the horse has rebounded from that beat on October 7th. That's kind of what threw me off on the horse.
Yeah, but I mean, ran at Fair Hill, tired, pulled up. That's not the game, I guess, for Sir Smarty is the hurdles. But interesting, they did. I think Darren Martin bred this horse right and claimed this horse, was able to get this horse back for 5,000. Shooting hard, going to get a win here before the end of the year.
All right. So the 8, you get a decent price there on the 8 Sir Smarty. I used the 9 in my exacta here. Fleet Admiral for trainer Patrick Noosh. Julian Pimentel having a big meet as Pimentel, and this horse just missed last out at this level back in August. A good second behind Redeemed Gentleman, who would come right back to win. The third place finisher in that race would come back to win. So that was a strong second by Fleet Admiral. Couple maintenance, half-mile work since then right here at Laurel.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He keys up against the right horse. Tony Guire's Redeemed Gentleman has come back and run well on the raise. So that bodes well. The outside post, I'm not real fond of that, but I think this horse is going to draft him, but needs a perfectly timed run. He's got a little hang in him that last 16th of a mile.
So my top pick here, Red Miss Arch with a nice win last weekend here at Laurel. Sheldon Russell on this 6-year-old maiden, but he's in at the right level. He was a good second up there at Monmouth at this level, 2 back. Forget about it. He ran okay in the slop last out, but might get a forwardly placed trip from the inside today with Sheldon Russell.
Yeah, and another horse I think that will be Jericho Marsh. Ran well. That was the second time with Blinkers on the turf. First time was rated back, taken too far off of it. Katie Davis will have this horse into the flow of the race. Third place finisher that day, What a Hoot, came back to run a 55 on the raise. A 55 is a number that's going to be just about right. A buyer figure to win it.
All right, so nice turf route there in race 6 to kick off the late pick 5. Let's take a look at the late pick 4 starting race 7. A nice first level allowance condition, 3 and up, 6 furlongs on the main track. My top pick, your top pick, the 10 Polar Jet. We have a video spotlight to show you. Polar Jet back on March 16th right here at Laurel Park against a other than Allowance Company. Fired a 92 buyer this day. Nice rally to finish second behind Wonderful Light, who would come right back to win after this race.
Wonderful Light at 1-5 that day. Makes a nice inside move, this Polar Jet, and just can't quite get up. I mean, draws basically on even terms and fights it out gamely to the wire. You're going to see this horse down to the inside, make a run and threaten for the lead. Draws on almost near even terms there past the 8th pole, staying on that left lead. But look at the 2 numbers at Laurel. Could he be a horse for course, Stan?
Sure.
A 92 and a 94, coming back turf to dirt. Just an okay try, an even try on the turf against this field. With some speed, I think Polar Jet's going to like the setup he's going to get today.
All right, so I have the horse on top. The only horse I thought that can maybe beat Polar Jets, the 8 Forest for trainer Miguel Vera. J.D. Acosta on this 3-year by Take Charge Indy. Came out of the box running this year, did this horse. A nice maiden special weight at Tampa. That's just okay, but then a nice big allowance win at Parks. Other than won by 8 1/4 from the 1 hole, a 90 buyer that day, and then got beat a nose against Stakes Company at Belmont in the mud with a 92 buyer. And then they had some time off, had the summer off, and came back in a grade 3 at Parks. That was maybe a tough assignment for the comeback race. Hopefully he's recovered from that.
Yeah.
If he's back in the form that he was earlier this spring, Forrest could be a factor in this spot.
Yeah, he's going to have to deal with the 6. If the plans are still to go to the front. This horse was awfully quick in debut. We talked about this horse last time when you compared the internals on September the 14th. Very sharp early speed. Once again, this is going to be an honest pace in race number 7. Polar Jet looks to be the horse. All he has to do is come remotely close to his true tries at Laurel to go and pass. But other users underneath, how about Beauvouk? An excuse last time with a big bad stumble. And home run maker Engelhardt. Everything this guy runs down here is live, and this horse is going to get a perfect trip from mid-pack.
Yeah, home run maker, a closing sprinter there in race 7. So nice big field there, going short on the main track. Allowance Company in race 7. A feature of the day, though, is race 8. 2 other than allowance condition for affiliate mares, 3 and up. Optional claiming 35,000. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Kelso turf course rail at 35 feet. You have the 4 on top. I have the 4 in my exacta. Misericordia for trainer Alan Goldberg. We have a stat here for trainer Alan Goldberg in Misericordia.
Yeah, the last 5 years at Laurel, pretty good. 30%, 7 for 23 and allowance turf sprints. Okay, so
solid.
Yeah, and Misericordia looks like she's hedging into the best form of her career, Stan. 2 races back in July, a 77 buyer when getting up and beating a key horse in Amapola. I think it's a Delacour, and then really didn't disgrace herself at all at a big price of 23-1 in the Sensible Lady on the 22nd of September here at Laurel Park. You see the trouble. They're steadied at the half-mile pole. Another horse, I think, she's just ramping up to the right right form, shown that she can handle a yielding surface. I don't know if it's going to be quick yielding. I think it's going to be around good today. I think she stalks and pounces against this group. Well-matched field, though, all in all. You want to dig for a little bit of prices. I like the improvement, though, of the one not in jeopardy. That run she unleashed last time was awfully strong. Her last turf race, I should say, August the 17th, came back on the dirt, no good. I think that the move back to the turf is going to be good for not in jeopardy. She was rolling late to get up to beat hip hop.
Yeah, I like the one Lynch going to have to overcome breaking from the inside. He'll be in traffic early. He'll be coming with a late run, though, on the one not in jeopardy. My top pick, my single on my pick 6, the 13, Keep Your Distance. She's won 2 in a row on the main track. But earlier this year, back in May, right here at Laurel Park, against 2 other than Allowance Company, she won wire to wire that day with an 80 Beyer speed figure. That was on a firm turf course. She's going to do it on a good turf course today. I think she just gets in front and dictates from the outside with her early speed. Georgie Vargas Jr. knows this filly well. He's won a bunch of races on her. What a money-making filly
Sure.
she's been this year. 7 wins, made over 200,000. What a nice filly. Keep your distances.
We said it before. We call these horses ATM machines.
Yep.
You just send them out, and it's ka-ching every time. And the road's going to go through her. But I mean, are the rest of these riders going to let her just get away and dictate it? I don't know. You got some speed. Unakoy drops in. I think her best efforts are going to be up close to the pace. Will she be able to kind of keep your distance in her sights to force the issue and go by? But the 13 is certainly going to make you work for it. You've got to use her. What a job Kieran and the team have done with her. Boy, they know her like a T. She just brings it every race for them.
And we had 3 scratches in the body of the race.
Yeah.
That draws in all the AEs, the 14 Wise Gal, the 15 Unakoy, and the 16
Yes.
Ion Berlin, a 4-time winner on the Laurel grass. Ion Berlin, the 16, draws in here for race 8. So nice feature of the day there to kick off the final pick 3. Let's take a look at race 9, a nickel 2 life. Filly mares 3 and up, 6 furlongs. I go with the 7 on top here. The Theorem for trainer Kathleen O'Connell. Trevor McCarthy will ride 12-5 2 life at Parks last out in the slop. It's an okay 4. Third before that against 16,000 3 life at Monmouth. She takes a nice big drop today and gets a top rider, McCarthy. She's a closing sprinter. She'll be breaking from the outside. Good enough for me here with the 7th Theorem.
Okay. I mean, I like you say, closing sprinter. I think we got a bunch of closing sprinters in here. Chasers. Right up your alley is going to be my top selection. 10-1 on the morning line for Mary Epler. A jam job down from the 16 and an off-the-turf race. But the internals were good. I like this second back for Mary, second back on the dirt. This horse, I think, can control it, Stan, from the outside with Toledo.
Yeah, you make a good case. Not much speed. Maybe the 9 steals it at a big price there in race 9. 1 more to go here. Race 10, we're back on the turf. 5.5 furlongs. Fort Marcy turf course rail at 87 feet, claiming 16,000 3 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. The condition here in race 10 looks like we like the same horses here. I go with the 9 on top for the greater good for trainer Donna Lockhart. Is having a big year. She bred and owned this 3-year-old by Scipion. Weston Hamilton will ride. They just missed at this level last out on a yielding turf course. This guy has some early speed. He'll get a nice stalking trip breaking from the outside.
A lot of heart. And once again, the numbers going in the right way. There is some speed, but is there this real speed? Can anybody run with the 8 looking ready for Claudio back to the turf, where I think it's the best surface for looking ready? The 7's a question mark. Generalist, a drop, second off the claim for Hugh McMahon. But look at that number, lone turf number, with an excuse. Broke through the gate pre-race, going a mile at Belmont this summer. I think this horse is a factor. Anytime teaming up with Katie Davis, they're live. The runners are very live. So I fear that horse. Jammer. I think Jammer is better than his last. I think he's going to make a run in here with Pimentel.
Yeah, Pimentel stays aboard. You'll get a nice price. He's a closing sprinter, the 5 Jammer. So we like the same 4 horses there in race 10. That's it. We're out of time. Nice carryover today in that Rainbow Pick 6. Over 7,000. That starts in race 5. Dave Robin coming up next with today's scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.